So, good evening, or should I say, good afternoon, to the side of the world. It's me, the Lock Robster. 30 minutes before New Year starts here, over on this other side of the world. And I wasn't really planning to do a vlog today. But I guess it's would be good for me to say the last few words of the year 2020 now, rather than a month from now. Something that I would usually do when something upsets me. Yeah. So, but then again, uh, she wouldn't want me to be angry or sad, and you can just quote her on that. Yeah. So, you haven't got the gist of my vlog today. Yeah, it's regarding the sad news that Shira and her twin sister, Shina, as well as Ems, got terminated from the group. Yeah, so naturally his human nature would unfold. I got very angry, especially after so much positive things that management has been doing the last few months. And I mean, regarding the Sella situation, the Bell situation, and the Ali thing that happened much earlier, I was just still holding back any rant that I would do, since I was actually saving it till the results of the third general election. And here we are again. We haven't seen the results yet, and we're losing members left and right. And this one really takes the cake once again, as you know, another one of my favorite top tier members is gone. Okay, which is definitely Shira. Okay, yeah, I haven't really felt this way ever since Quincy uh, got let go. Yeah, it's almost like the same feeling, but in all respects, it's also a different feeling as well. As unlike when I heard about Quincy, I didn't know the whole story, and we were told a lie, basically, that saying that she left. Okay, now this story, it's basically, okay, HHE is telling the truth that they terminated her, and for whatever reason, and a lot of people or M and Loves already knew the reason or speculated what the reason was, you know. And I'm glad that the twins uh, released a video live yesterday explaining why they were terminated. Okay, so I'm glad for them for that. It's not like they waited for a long period of time before telling us, but it was immediate, and and that reason was, dare I say, a very shitty reason for them to get terminated. Pardon my French. But, it was their decision to do it. And if HHE has a problem with it, it's their loss, you know. And, yeah. I've always known that, the twins have always been the popular members, even though the favoritism within the management, within the group, has prevented them from fulfilling that potential that HHE failed to see. Okay. So yeah, I could be angry, but as I said, she wouldn't. She wouldn't want me to feel that way. Yeah, and you can quote her on that because that's what she said when I left a comment on her live saying that I was upset and I was angry, and she said, don't be." Then I guess what's left is to be sad. She does, but she doesn't want me to be sad as well. Excuse me. Excuse me for that. But yeah, I'm a sensitive soul, I guess, and I can't help it to feel that way. I mean, this is how I felt when Quincy left. But yeah, like I said, I'm glad that they were able to explain it. It I didn't have to wallow in that sadness and anger, I guess. In the same way that when Quincy was gone, and then when I learned the whole story, yeah. But yeah, like I said, it's just the human nature in us to feel this way. But you know, whatever the twins will do in the future, I'll always support them, as well as M. So I haven't heard her whole story yet, and I hope she tells her own story. Not to at least not to delay it. So not to fester this anger and hurt that her fans may be feeling. Okay. So yeah. So as I kind of mentioned, sometimes when these things happens within ML48, I kind of close off myself for maybe a month. It happens if you notice in some when some major thing happens that upsets us MN loves. There's always a period of 1 month that I don't do anything. So for this, since in a way there's closure, that I guess I'll be back in a few days to doing uh, what I've been doing in supporting the group and the girls. It's really hard to become an M in love, to be one, since now you have to deal with the disappointment that management is giving us, and these toxic MN loves that are seemingly sprouting around, hurting the girls. It can be very frustrating. What losers? You know, they're tough, just typing up these words behind their social media pages, hiding in anonymity, hiding their faces what upsets them and hurting the girls. I know, I've heard, they did this to Andy, to Ice, to Jem, and now they're doing it to Lainey and JD. It's really crazy. And to tell you the truth, I've been a victim myself of these toxic MN loves. But I guess that's another story to tell. Okay. Yeah, so I guess there's another thing I want to get off my chest, you know, especially regarding Shara being my top Oshi. Okay. I mentioned top Oshi, but not Kami-oshi, since Quincy is my Kami-oshi. I believe I mentioned that several times already in my videos. Yeah. But I just want to tell you this, I guess, thing that I just want to get off my chest. Mention. But let me tell you the story first regarding my life. Okay, so back then, I was a kid growing up in the Philippines. I had a childhood sweetheart. Yeah, I mean, she's, I guess, a couple of years younger than me. Yeah. Well, we kind of hit it off. In a way, I like her, she likes me, kind of. It's almost like a tsundere, in a way. But yeah. So when I reached high school, so she was like in fifth grade or something like that. Yeah, and then my attention was diverted to a classmate of mine during my freshman year. Okay, when that didn't work out, I kind of went back to her during the summer. Okay, so when my sophomore year started, I put my attentions on another girl within my class. When that didn't work out, I went back to her. Okay, so my friend and classmate noticed this and said that I'm a terrible person for doing that, and that I'm using her, my childhood sweetheart, as a safety net to, whatever disappointment I have, I go back to her. Yeah, it's almost like I said, safety net, because I know she's going to be there. And I guess he mentioned that I'm a, like I said, terrible person for doing that. But yeah, anyway, I guess my infatuation with that faded away as the years went by, and realizing that I didn't do that again. Okay. Okay, so going now, there's kind of like a connection here in what I'm saying. So regarding Shara. Okay. Okay. So um how to explain this? I'm not really articulating myself well here. Okay, so as I mentioned, Shira is my top Oshi. Okay, and there was this moment in my mind, in my head, that I wanted to replace her with another member. Okay, okay, so that was just a thought, but the I guess the Oshi Hen thing that was happening. Okay, I don't want to say the name of that member. Okay, but I'm sure some others know who I'm talking about. So I'm not going to mention her because it's very unfair to her. Okay, because in a way, I may have been using that member as a safety net. Okay, so here's what it is. It's almost like this member is getting very, a lot of exposure, getting very popular. and her fans kind of enticed me to go with her, not go with her, but choose her, you know. And, you know, loyalty has to count for something. And I didn't want to do that with Shira, you know, and since I'm also loyal with Quincy, and certainly I'm still loyal with Shira. Okay, so it was, I should have been doing it, but the in my mind, I in the back of my head at least, I was so close to doing it. Okay, and I think I gave the reason like I might do it after the results of the third general election. Okay, so then this news happened where Shara gets terminated. Okay, and now it's almost like, did I will this to happen? Did my mind manifest it to happen? For Shira getting kicked out so I don't have to choose? Because in a way, that that member moves up in her place if Shira's gone. Yes. Yeah, I know it sounds kind of silly, but in a way, just thinking about replacing her as a top Oshi, my top Oshi, I feel guilty, kind of guilty about it. And then when this happened, it's almost like, did I will this to happen? Did I make this happen? You know how sometimes you get an idea and then suddenly someone else has that same idea. You know, it's almost like you willed it for someone else to get that idea. That's supposed to be your idea. Kind of like back then, because back then I wanted to be a comic book writer, and I thought of this great comic book series, you know, that involved the children of these heroes, and then later on it actually happened, not by me but somebody else. Basically, he had the same idea that I had in my head, but he was able to do it physically. Okay, so it's kind of like that kind of happened, you know, that, you know, I was thinking about replacing Shira, and then this happened. It's almost like it made it easy for me. The universe made it easy for me to not choose. Okay, and it's hard to think about it now, and it's very unfair for Shara and unfair for that member that in a way falls in her place, Shara's place now. I know it's crazy to think about, but in some way, just thinking about it makes you feel guilty. This Oshihen thing, and I'm really against that term, that thing that fans do, you know, just because she's more popular, then you switch loyalties, just like that. And yeah, and like I said, it makes me feel guilty of just thinking about it when I should have stayed loyal, you know. Yeah, I guess I'm just thinking too much of it, and as I said, it's unfair to Shira, and it's unfair to the unnamed member. Okay, but yeah, but then I guess, you know, I guess I don't really have to think about it that much, since it's still a long ways away. And if you think this is the worst yet, I think by the third general election, worse things to come, because I have a lot of Oshis that could be in danger of being forced to graduate from the group. Okay, so I don't know about that. So like I said, it's hard being an M in love. And I once said that if HHA gives me a third strike, that's it for me. Okay, so first strike was the results of the second general election. Second strike was when Quincy was removed. I would kind of consider the termination of Shira to be the third strike, but no. Maybe even the results of the third general election won't still make me leave, since I kind of said it to myself and promised to myself that as long as there's still one remaining Oshi within the group, I will support her to the very end. Okay, and that's, I guess, the only time that I would say sayonara to be an M in love, an M in love when that happens. Okay, yeah. So that's just want to get off my chest. Okay. Regarding that, so does that make me a terrible person thinking about that? Thinking of Oshi Henning to another member, and that I will this to happen? Just thinking about it made it manifest itself, so it wouldn't be hard for me. Yeah. Well, I guess that's all I have to say about that. And like I said, there might be more worse things to come within MNL 48 and by HHE standards. So yeah, I guess I'll leave you with these thoughts, and I promise to get back to what I do best here on my channel in a way supporting the members, whoever's left. Or I mean, it doesn't really matter if they leave or not. I have been, doing reaction video spotlights on those members who are no longer there. Yeah. So I guess look forward to it. Not anytime soon though, since I guess I need a few days to decompress. Yeah, so I'm not really that angry anymore. Maybe a tiny bit. Maybe it's still a bit sad. But like I said, that's the days I need to decompress before I get right back to it. To doing what I do best, I guess. Okay, so 7 more minutes till New Year. I'll just say it to you guys now, so you don't have to hang out with me anymore. So, Happy New Year to everyone right there. Okay, signing off.